Hey guys, Zeke here. Hope you're doing well and staying safe out there. Today's video, I just want to let you guys know that I bought myself a new car. That's right, a sports car. It didn't require registration, no signature. To be honest, it cost me 19 bucks. Here it is, folks, the World Top Drift GT 4-wheel drive drifting remote control car. And you're probably thinking, come on Zeke, it's a child's toy. Well, it is, and Christmas is not too far away. It's just around the corner. I've been binging a lot of Christmas movies and I've been watching, Elf, Santa Claus, Home Alone 1, 2, and 3. And it's exactly in Home Alone 3 where a boy takes out his remote control car, straps on a camcorder on top of it, and goes out into the snow and collects some evidence against some bad guys. Now, I watched that movie as a kid and that's like my all-time favorite Christmas movie to watch around December. I absolutely love that, and I've been inspired to do the exact same thing. Take out this remote control car, attach a camera to the top, and take it out for a spin. Now, the camera of choice for this test is my very own beloved Canon EOS M camera. This thing is absolutely tiny, super cheap, and I think it would be the perfect choice to go on top of this car. Now, it's hooked up with Magic Lantern RAW, and the lens that I'm going to use is the Canon 10-18mm IS because it's got stabilization as well as a wide field of view. So let's go ahead without further ado, unbox this remote control car, see what it's all about, and then go ahead and take it out for a spin. Let's go ahead and unbox this thing. All right, let's go ahead and unbox this Drift GT racing car. Now, I'm not going to use Swiss Army knife. I don't have any. I'm not Canadian. I'm going to go ahead, use scissors, and cut these tape pieces off. Also, just quickly looking at the specs, it's got high speed apparently, drifting wheels, which is pretty cool, front wheel adjustment, and it's easy to control. We'll see once we test it out. All right, so we get a free manual that comes with it, and it pretty much explains everything you need to do, including how to drift. This is so cool. Now, before I go on, I'm like the worst at unboxing things. Let's continue. All right, so that's what it comes with. You got the car there, and then you got the wheels at the top, as well as the remote. Got to detach the back screws in order to detach the car. All right, so finally got the car off this thing, and that's what it looks like. Pretty cool, huh? That's what the remote control looks like. It looks so cool. All right, so left over in the box, we have some extra spare wheels just at the top here. So here is the car. Now, my first feeling or first impression of this is that it does feel a bit cheap. The plastic is like, I don't know if you can see that, but look at that. It's like, I don't know, the worst plastic quality I've ever seen. This thing, I don't know, it just looks extremely breakable, but I will test it out in the field. Let's go ahead and check the back. It requires batteries, and let's go ahead and see what batteries this thing requires. I'm guessing, I think AA. All right, so the battery this thing takes about 6 AA batteries, and then on the remote, it takes one 9-volt battery. So I'm gonna go ahead, pop the batteries in it, and then just test them out, see how they work. All right guys, so the transmitter's done, the car's finished. The final part to this piece is my beloved Canon EOS M. I'm gonna place a Speedbooster onto it, and then my awesome Canon 10-18mm. This is a wide angle lens, and so I think it would be a good fit for this test. You can see that it's had a bottom converted, so it's EFS to now Canon EF mount. Costs around 50 bucks, but overall I think it's worth it for crop sensitive cameras. Let's go ahead, attach it to the car, and then see what this thing is all about. Before I stick my camera to the car, I've put a fresh battery in as well as a big, large SD card. This is 512 gig, so if I record 2.5K or something like that, it's not gonna overfill. I'll have lots of recording time with this thing. So let's go ahead, attach it to the top, and see how it looks. Honestly, I don't care about blocking the on and off button. I can just poke a hole into the tape and then access it that way. All right guys, and that's pretty much it. There you go, the EOS M racing car thingamajiggy from Home Alone 3. It's all done, all finished, and we're ready to take it outside for a complete test. The other wheels that were the spare ones, they're not spare, they're actually drifting wheels, so These are high-speed wheels that allow you to go straight, left, right, and then the other ones are just made for pure drifting. So I'll see if I can test both, but for now I'm gonna stick with the high-speed wheels and just see what I can get, what footage I can get with this combo. Now outdoors we have mixed weather, both sunny and cloudy, so I've got a variable ND filter. This is a CNF concept, and this is 67mm filter thread front, so it's gonna be perfect for all kinds of weather. Let's go ahead and take this thing outside and just push it to its limits. Okay, so this is day one of the test and I am extremely excited to make this dream a reality. All I want is for the camera to record nice video as the car is driving around, just like you see in the movie Home Alone 3. So I'll make my way out of the house and I'm heading towards a nearby athletics track. The weather was kind of mixed with rain, cloud and sunshine, and so I was crossing my fingers that it wouldn't rain. Alright guys, I'm heading to the track now. There's like a race or athletics track just down over there. So I'm going to make our way there, test out the car, see how it goes with the Canon EOS M on top. The weather is kind of crazy. I mean, the sun is there, but it's hiding behind the clouds. If it did, that's it. I would have to pack my bag and just head home. A few minutes later, I arrived at the location for the test and the weather was great. All right, as you can see, I'm at a wonderful lake. This is called the Edwards Lake. We're not too far away from the track now. The sun has finally come out. It's beautiful weather. Let's just cross fingers it stays like this. The track looked beautiful, the sun was out, and I was ready to take the test. I'm not expecting miracles, but if it works, then fantastic. Let's go ahead and give it a shot. Now the camera was strapped tight to the car. As you can see, it's like a mummy. All the batteries were charged, and then I placed the car on the ground, ready to take off. The car took off at full speed, and it was fantastic. I shot this at 1080 mode towards the bright sunlight, and this car was going at full speed. The car, however, was driving only straight, so this time I set it at 2.5K RAW to get more resolution and hopefully a more cinematic feel to the shot. Now as I tested it, it was a complete disaster. The crop factor in this mode caused the camera footage to shake and just leave this jello effect. Not only that, the surface of the athletics track was the absolute worst choice for this test. Who would have thought? It was rugged, bumpy, and not smooth as I imagined it to be. So as you turn the steering wheel, the car would just lose grip and then flip over. It was so frustrating. Now this kept happening and I was ready to give up and just completely forget about making this video. It was honestly just a complete disaster. There was no hope and no way of getting this thing to work. The batteries drained out. The camera on top was beginning to take a toll on the weight of the car, and so I packed my bag and went home very unhappy with the footage. All I wanted was just the car to drive around like a racing car and capture footage nice and smoothly. So here comes day 2 of the test, and I chose my final location. This was it. This was the deal breaker. If it didn't go well, that's it. This whole purchase and test had all been in vain and absolutely worthless. Now this time I wanted to make sure I got this test right, so I took along my backup camera, the Panasonic Lumix GH1. So here I am, I arrive at this new location and instantly I noticed that the ground is smooth and super clean. This instantly gave me some hope. The first thing I do is set up my Canon EOS M camera and then make sure that it's tightly sealed to the racing car. I then placed it on the ground and gave it a quick run, and hey, it worked. It was smooth, the footage came out great, and I was extremely happy with the results. Now next, I want to test it with my other camera, the Panasonic GH1. It's a micro four thirds HD camera, and I wanted to see if this camera could produce similar or exceptional results. So I taped up this thing and it looked ridiculous. I mean, this thing was super tight, it just looked like a mummy. It was great. I was nervous at the start. You know, was this thing going to work well? It was going to stuff up or shake. Now in day one, I strapped the camera towards the center of the vehicle, but this time I strapped it towards the back of the car just to ensure that, you know, I wasn't placing too much pressure on the center of the vehicle. And I gave it a test, but did it work? Of course it worked. It worked amazingly. I was just over the moon that this old HD camera could bring about this awesome footage on top of this race vehicle. It was super wide. The Canon 10 to 18mm just had a super wide field of view, and to my surprise, the footage just came out really well for a HD camera. Now, of course, it's an old camera, but you know, a Panasonic G7 or a GH4 will do exceptionally well with the 4K. You can always crop in post and stuff like that. But for me, I was over the moon that this test worked. You know, the car wasn't tipping over, the footage was smooth, and overall, it just came out great. My tiny little dream from Home Alone 3 had finally become a reality. I could see that this would work great for action scenes or chase scenes, especially with stronger build remote controlled cars, you know, that can handle tough surfaces or heavy cameras. So overall, I was extremely pleased with the results and just over the moon with the test, you know. I could have just easily packed my bags and just forgotten about this test, but overall, it was an absolute success. So thanks guys for watching. Hopefully you got something out of this. Hopefully you enjoyed the test. I think it was absolute lots of fun. I'd love to do more of this type of stuff in the future videos. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye for now.